Good morning, everybody. Hopefully you can see outside. It's really nice outside. So let's try to get through our homework quickly today, and maybe we can get outside and go do something different other than sit inside all day. Because the last couple of days have not been friendly. So today we're going to do volume plus surface area of a congruent figure. So that's the whole entire thing, and we're just going to break it up and use the formulas that we've used before. So if you look at the first one, we have what I guess you could say looks like a house. You have a square on the bottom and the triangle on top. So what we're going to do is just cut it off where the triangle is, move that over to one section, and we're going to take the bottom section, the square, and do that on its own. We know to find volume of a square or a rectangle, its volume equals length times width times height. So that's what we're going to do. We take this, we have 8s all the way around, so we know it's a square. So we have 8 times 8 times 8, which will give us 512. Now for this second part, we have to find the volume of a triangle, where our formula is 1/3 times the base times the height. So we have volume equals 1/3, and then in parentheses we have the base, which is 8 and 8, right? Because we know that our base of our square was 8. So that's our base of our triangle. So we're going to have 8 times 8 in parentheses. We're going to do that part first, times 5. So when we do this whole problem out, we'll equal volume equals 106.7. And we take that 106.7 and add it to the 512 we got from the square. And that will give us 618.7 feet cubed. All right, now we look at the next figure. We have something that looks like a rectangle and maybe a square together. So if we need to, you just break it up. So let's say we break it up there. So now we have a rectangle on one side and a square on the other. So we're going to break them up and then try to figure out the volume for each one of these. So we have volume is equal to length times width times height. So look at this one. What would the length, the width, and the height be of this first rectangle? Yep, we're going to take our 16, our 8, and our 6 inches. So 16 times 8 times 6. Think for a second, what does that equal? Okay, that equals 768. Okay, so that's one side. Now we have to find the volume of the square. So again, we're going to do volume is equal to length times width times height. So pause for a second. Look, what are our numbers that we're going to multiply together? We're going to take 8 times 6 times 8. So 8 times 6 times 8 is equal to 384. And you add both of these together, you should come up with 1,152 inches cubed. Now don't panic when you're doing these. Just remember, you got to break them apart. We already know the formulas we're going to be using. We're going to be using length times width times height for our squares or our rectangles, and for our triangles, we're going to use 1/3 times the base times the height. And you just need to take the base of that triangle, multiply those together, and then multiply everything else together. And you should find the correct answer. As always, best team in football. Maybe if it comes back this year, we'll see what happens. Schedules were released. We play the Packers, so that's probably an automatic W. And I hope this helps, and get this done and then get outside and go do something fun.